Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. During the Three Kingdoms period, Wei Yan, a famed general of Shu Han, was known for his flamboyant and rebellious nature. Many believed that he would eventually turn traitor. And based on this assumption, speculated that this was the reason why Zhuge Liang ultimately decided to eliminate him. At that time, Shu Han's goal of restoring the Han dynasty was still far from being realized. How could they possibly tolerate a general who might at any moment strike out on his own? However, the claim that Wei Yan was born with a rebellious streak sounds more like something from a novel. After all, power struggles are no child's play, things don't happen that frivolously. In truth, there was only one real reason: Wei Yan's military achievements were simply too great. He had overshadowed his lord, and was beginning to pose a threat to Zhuge Liang's authority and position. According to historical records, in 211 AD, Liu Bei accepted an invitation from Zhang to lead troops into Sichuan to help fend off Zhang Lu's invasion. At the time, Wei Yan was one of Liu Bei's generals and entered Shu alongside him to join the campaign. During this battle, Wei Yan worked seamlessly with Hongzhang. Not only did they successfully capture Guan commandery, but they also assisted Liu Bei in taking the strategically important city of Luocheng. In the end, their forces joined up with those of Zhuge Liang and Zhang Fei near Chengdu, completing the encirclement of the city. Originally, Wei Yan was just an obscure junior officer whom few paid attention to. But thanks to his stellar performance in this campaign, he was promoted within a year to the rank of Yamen General, a true core figure in the military, no longer just an ordinary commander. In the 24th year of Jianan, 219 AD, Liu Bei proclaimed himself king of Hongzhang and designated Chengdu as his capital. At this time, the Shu Han regime had only just begun to solidify its power, and the northern region of Hongzhang became a key strategic stronghold. It was essential to appoint a general capable of holding the situation firmly in hand. Most people believed that such an important position should go to none other than Zhang Fei. After all, Guan was already stationed in Jingzhou, and Zhang Fei, as Liu Bei's sworn brother, had earned his fair share of military merit. It seemed only natural that he would be made the governor of Hongzhang. Zhang Fei himself was fully confident, having made all the preparations, just waiting for Liu Bei to announce his appointment. Unexpectedly, Liu Bei bypassed Zhang Fei and instead appointed Wei Yan as governor and military commander of Hongzhang, promoting him from Yamen General directly to General who pacifies the distant. The news caused an uproar throughout the army. Many were left speechless in shock. While Wei Yan was undoubtedly a capable warrior, his seniority and reputation were nowhere near Zhang Fei's. How had he suddenly risen to such prominence? At the official ceremony convened by Liu Bei, he personally addressed Wei Yan, saying, "Now that I'm entrusting such a crucial place like Hongzhang to you, what are your plans?" Without hesitation, Wei Yan replied, "If Cao Cao comes with the full might of his nation, I shall fight to the death to resist him for your highness. If he merely sends a deputy with 100,000 troops, I shall annihilate them for your highness." These words were firm, powerful, and brimming with confidence. Liu Bei nodded in approval on the spot, feeling he had chosen the right man. The assembled ministers also voiced their admiration, recognizing Wei Yan as a man of courage, vision, and extraordinary talent, a true pillar of strength. In the following year, the first year of the Zhongwu era, 221 AD, Liu Bei proclaimed himself emperor and formally established the state of Shu Han. With this, Wei Yan's status rose accordingly. He was appointed general who guards the north, a position tasked with defending the northern front lines, a role of great strategic importance. By April of the first year of the Jianqing era, 223 AD, Liu Bei passed away in Baidi city, and the regime transitioned to his son, Crown Prince Liu Shan. Just a month later, Liu Shan ascended the throne as emperor, and Wei Yan was further promoted to the rank of Marquis of Duding, once again elevating his status and privileges. It is worth asking, if Wei Yan was such an outstanding general, why was Zhuge Liang determined to eliminate him? It's possible that if Wei Yan had continued leading troops, Shu might have been able to persist in its goal of northern expeditions. But that's exactly where the problem lies. As previously mentioned, Wei Yan had accumulated an extraordinary number of military achievements. His prestige within the army was rapidly rising, even beginning to eclipse that of Zhuge Liang. In an era that prioritized the dominance of civil officials over military generals, this was a dangerous sign. During Zhuge Liang's northern campaigns, most of Shu Han's original veteran generals were no longer around. Guan Yu had been defeated and killed by Eastern Wu after retreating from Maicheng. Liu Bei, in his attempt to avenge Guan Yu, launched a campaign against Wu, during which Zhang Fei was murdered by his own subordinates. And Liu Bei himself suffered a crushing defeat at Yiling, eventually dying in grief in Baidi city. Before Liu Bei had even proclaimed himself emperor, the elder general Hongzhang had already passed away. Ma Chao, though well known, never held real authority. Even the mighty Zhao Yun had died of illness in Hongzhang as early as the 7th year of the Jianqing era, 229 AD. In short, during the northern expeditions, Wei Yan was essentially the only general truly capable of independently commanding forces. His ability to lead troops and his long-standing defense of Hongzhang made it undeniable. Wei Yan was the most capable and elite military leader left in Shu. While Zhuge Liang was alive, he could rely on his unmatched intellect, immense prestige, and the trust Liu Bei had placed in him to keep Wei Yan in check. But Zhuge Liang knew full well that once he was gone, there would be no one left in court capable of containing Wei Yan. That could lead to a repeat of the late Eastern Han era's chaos, where powerful ministers overshadowed weak emperors. This was especially concerning given that Liu Shan was a timid and mediocre ruler. How could he possibly contend with a seasoned battlefield veteran like Wei Yan? Therefore, to prevent internal unrest and the rise of power-hungry ministers within Shu Han, Zhuge Liang had to prepare in advance. His goal was to stabilize the regime after his death and eliminate any potential threats. Historically, this kind of preemptive measure was not uncommon. Furthermore, Zhuge Liang was fully aware of the daunting challenges facing the northern campaigns. Even while he was alive, success had eluded him. How could Shu hope to turn the tide after his death? With this in mind, it was better to focus on preserving the territory Liu Bei had won rather than continuing to take reckless risks. To protect the nation, internal stability was paramount. If Wei Yan, inflated by his achievements, refused to follow rules or even attempted to establish a separate power base, then the regime's stability would become an illusion, and the northern campaigns would be out of the question. In the 12th year of the Jianqing era, 234 AD, Zhuge Liang fell gravely ill. At Wuzhang Plains, he convened his final military and political meeting, summoning Shu's key civil and military officials to arrange his final instructions and the strategy for retreat. Strangely, Wei Yan, despite being the frontline commander, was not even notified of this crucial meeting. This detail speaks volumes. Zhuge Liang had already excluded Wei Yan from the inner circle of decision-making. His distrust was written all over his actions. It could be said that Zhuge Liang had long laid the groundwork, waiting for Wei Yan to walk into the trap. He had already assigned Yang Yi, Jiang Wei, and Ma Dai to be prepared in case Wei Yan refused to follow orders. Sure enough, after Zhuge Liang's death, Wei Yan refused to accept the retreat plan led by Yang Yi and insisted on taking a different route. He even issued a military order, proclaiming himself commander of all domestic and foreign forces. This move was immediately seen as an act of rebellion. Yang Yi and the others quickly responded. Ma Dai was ordered to execute Wei Yan and struck him down in Nangu Valley. Thus, this once formidable general, who had once dominated the battlefield, finally met his end in a silent internal power struggle. From being extraordinarily promoted by Liu Bei to being strategically eliminated by Zhuge Liang, Wei Yan's life was truly one of dramatic ups and downs. evoking deep reflection and sighs from later generations. According to historical records, the Wei Yan Shrine is located in Baike Village, Sanquan Township, Zidong County, Mianyang City, Sichuan Province. Traveling about 15 kilometers west along the Anzi Highway that connects Zidong to Jiangyu, you will arrive at Baike Village in Sanquan Township. A short walk along the village road will bring you to a stone stele inscribed with the words, Wei Yan Shrine. Climbing the stone steps surrounded by lush cypress trees, a traditional, ancient-style building comes into view. Nestled among pines and cypresses, this is the shrine commemorating Wei Yan, the famous general of the Three Kingdoms period. Interestingly, within a 10-mile radius of the Wei Yan Shrine, residents bear all kinds of surnames, except the surname Wei. Yet, in front of the shrine flows a small river named Wei Family River, Wei Jiahe. According to the recollections of local elders in their 80s, there used to be a temple called Wei Family River Temple on the east bank of this river. In front of the temple stood 3 stone steles, one of which bore the inscription, Wei Yan stationed his troops here. Legend has it that in the 9th year of Jianqing, 231 AD, Zhuge Liang led his 4th northern expedition against Chao Wei. The main force was stationed at Zhuge Fortress in Wulong Mountain to create a pincer movement. He ordered Wei Yan to lead his own troops and camp at what is now Nanjinggangping by the Wei Family River to support the main army. This deployment was in line with Zhuge Liang's usual careful and strategic style of warfare. At that time, it was the height of summer, and the heat was intense. When Wei Yan arrived with his troops, he noticed a large number of sparrows gathered in a forested area. Thinking the place might be special, he decided to set up camp there. However, a problem quickly arose: there was no nearby water source, and the soldiers couldn't even cook their meals. While everyone was at a loss, Wei Yan spotted a white sparrow among the ordinary ones, standing out vividly. Intrigued, he followed the white sparrow until it flew into a crevice in a pile of rocks. Curious, Wei Yan tried moving the rock, and to his surprise, it collapsed, suddenly releasing a clear spring from underground. It turned out to be a sealed underground water source. The soldiers finally had access to water, allowing them to cook and wash. The surrounding villagers, long plagued by drought, were overjoyed to now have a dependable water supply. To commemorate this event, the spring was named Wei Yan River. This long-past local legend not only reflects the deep influence of Wei Yan among the people but also underscores his critical role in the Shu Han's northern expeditions. Even after 1,000 years, the heroic figure of Wei Yan continues to be remembered and honored on this land. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone and see you in the next time.